Hi there, you're watching Gardens and Graveyards. My name is Charisma and today we are in the garden with 1 foot in the house. So I have brought all of my houseplants out, well not all. I've brought many of my houseplants out here onto the deck to get washed off. I like to do this about twice a year. This year I only got to it once right now. I like to do it in the spring when it starts to warm up, late spring, early summer. The houseplants have been inside the house, cooped up all year long, just the dust and the dog hair and the heaters going and all those things are happening, and the windows have been closed and they haven't had a lot of fresh air. So I like to bring them out early summer, wash them off, check out their roots, see what's going on, make sure everybody's looking good, and then put them back in the house. And then I like to do it again right before fall hits and, it's too cold for them to be outside, but they've been in the house all summer. We have all the doors open, all the windows open. There's lots of dust in the summer because of that. And so I know that they get extra dusty in the summertime. So I like to just bring them out, give them a shower. I used to do this, in my bathtub, in a shower when I lived in places I didn't have access to a hose to do it outside. But I'm blessed with this covered porch, so they're protected a little bit. And of course, a hose. What do I want to say? Some people will leave their plants outside. They'll bring their houseplants outside for the entire summer and they'll just live outside, and the houseplants love it. But where I live on the Oregon coast in a zone 9A on the coast, we barely ever hit 70 degrees. And it's just a tad too cold for the houseplants to be outside all summer long, because we have lots of 50-degree days and nights, lots of 50-degree nights. And I don't think they would be that happy out here. And the other thing that I'm not a fan of leaving plants outside is because they're a lot more susceptible to garden pests like mealybug and aphids and spider mite. There's a bigger chance of the houseplants getting those, and then you bring them inside and introduce them to other houseplants, and it's harder to get rid of because the indoor environment is so conducive to, the warmth and the moisture and everything is happening in the inside of the house, and so bugs love that. So I don't like to leave them outside so they don't get bugs. And then I haven't experienced it because I don't practice those things, but I have a feeling that if I took a bunch of plants outside and there were these big gaping holes all over my house, I would fill them with new houseplants, and then there would be no room for the old plants to come back in, because that's just how I am. Anyway, so today I'm just gonna, basically what we're gonna do is shower all the plants off with, a semi-hard pressure, but not like blasting. And then I'm also gonna give them a really deep soak and let them drain all the way out because they have been being fertilized every 6 weeks since like March. And so some houseplants that'll kind of build up in their soil and they'll have bad reactions to that. I stopped fertilizing them after Labor Day until spring hits, because they're just going to be dormant anyways. There's no reason to add fertilizer to their soil in the winter. But I'm going to bring you a little bit closer, show you what I have. I did not bring out any of my canes because they do not like, well, they don't like water that's not distilled. And they don't like a lot of water, so a deep soak, they would not be very happy with that. And they're really easy to clean. They're, they're bladed and just easy to wipe clean. What else did I not bring out? I did not bring out my grandmother's Christmas cactus because it is so delicate and loses leaves. If you breathe too hard on it, So that one I actually use a hair dryer on low and blow it off to dust. I did not bring out any of my African violets. They do not like having water on their leaves. I did not bring out my Sansevieria. Again, they do not like water. Or any of my succulents. I didn't bring out any of my succulents because they don't want like that deep watering in their roots. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Everybody else came out here, and we're gonna get them cleaned up, and it gives me an opportunity to look at them. Do they need anything extra? Are their roots coming out the bottom? Do they need to be transplanted right now? Typically, I will transplant like October-ish or February, depending on my schedule and life. And this October, I will not have time. So if there's one individual plant that's like desperate to get out of its can, I'll try to make that a priority before January. Yeah, so let's just see what's going on over here. All right, so I've brought them out here. They will just hang out here until they're all dry. See if there's anything specific I want to say. Look, I found a plant that's just about dead. Totally got ignored, but I have some little bit of green growth on it, so I'm gonna try cutting them. I don't know. I might try cutting it back, and it's pretty wet, so maybe it's just like too wet. I don't know if I could save it. Anyway, but that's what happens sometimes. So this is why having, you know, half a day to just pay extra attention to some of your plants, you can catch some of those things, hopefully before too late. I don't see anything. I have a Black Raven ZZ plant there that doesn't like to have a lot of water in its roots, but it's a pretty new plant, and I want to wash it off to make sure that there's nothing on there. But I'm just going to be careful about getting too much water in its pot. Anything else? These prayer plants got potted up back in like March. They're already quite large, and I'm watering them like twice a week because they just dry out so quickly. They're very happy little plants, and I'll have to make a decision about whether, you know, I want to leave them in their cans until this winter, they keep blooming, or if I want to transplant them sooner. And then I've got this plant, and it is just so long. So I'm probably gonna cut a little bit of that off so that it can, you know, concentrate on, I don't know, so it'll just keep growing again, I guess. Everything else looks pretty normal. I'm just gonna get it cleaned off, and that's about it. You could see these the Easter Christmas cactuses. They're pretty dusty, so definitely time to get them cleaned up. They're looking a little pale. I think maybe a little bit too much sun in the window that they're sitting in. I'm not sure. And very dry, so I think they'll be happy with some extra water too. So let's get to it. so that was that. It's super easy to do that. I do periodically go through with some soapy water and, you know, a couple of towels and wipe down plants. I do that in the winter for sure. Usually right after Christmas, there's like glitter in the air. Make sure my plants don't have glitter. Yeah, but this, you know, just a quick shower like this and let them outside and a little bit of filtered sunlight, they love that. You'll notice if you put your plant underneath a shower like in your house, you'll notice their leaves just perk up and they're just like, woo, I had a shower. Feels great. And if you have plants like ficuses and Scheffeleras, they love showers. Like, they love showers. I think little, like the plants that are like little leaves with like lots of branching, I think probably all of those would love that kind of treatment. Just be careful with the plants that don't like very much water. I tried to show how I rinsed off my ZZ plant. It's still small enough that I could do that. Just tipped it on its side and showered off the leaves. All my cane plants are like 3 feet plus tall. They're really hard to bring them out here, tip them on their side and get, you know, half, whatever, I don't know, what is there, like 24 leaves or something like that, just because they're, you know, they're like a tall cane and then 2 leaves and a tall cane, 2 leaves, 4 leaves, whatever. Anyway, not worth it. Easier to just wipe it down with a damp cloth. So anyway, I'm gonna let these dry and then we'll come back this evening and I'll trim up a couple things and then we'll put them away and they'll be good for the season. Anyways, it is getting a little bit chilly in the morning and over the night, so I definitely wanted to get this out here and done before the weather turns completely to autumn. So yeah, I'll bring you along with any trimming and it'll be like a little 5-hour hiatus between the videos. Okay, so without doing any watering or anything on this plant, it's soaking wet. The roots are rotten, and so I'm just gonna toss that. We are going to cut back this guy. I'm just gonna cut it like right here. And then I'm gonna put the remainder in this glass of water. I could cut some of these, but I think it's okay for now. We might do a little pruning on it later in the winter time. And at this point, it's getting windy and a little bit cold. That was all standing straight up like 2 hours ago, and now it's weeping for 2 reasons. One, it kind of does that at nighttime anyways, and 2, it's just on the touch of too cold out here. So I'm gonna get that cut and then we're gonna start bringing them inside. So all I do with these pieces that I cut off is I go to the end that I cut, I strip off 6 to 8 inches of the leaves, and then I pop it in the jar with water. It's just straight up water, there's nothing special about it. And then everywhere a leaf is pulled off leaves these little nodes exposed, and roots will grow out of those, and then I can plant them up and give them away. They will actually live in water for months and months if you want them to, or if you're just going to a healthier stem. All right, everyone, that is it for today's project. I just got them all washed, watered in really deep, and then I'm gonna bring them in before it gets overly cold. It was pretty windy today, so hopefully not too much trauma for these poor plants that are used to the home environment. But it feels good because now I know it's done and fall is right around the corner, and I know that they're clean and that they're not, there's not too much buildup of fertilizer in them. They're good to go for the holidays, and that leaves me with room and freedom to play with decorating rather than plant stuff. So until the next time, keep celebrating life, and we will see you in the next video.